So we are going to start here with some hip releases. So you are not going to use the roller right now. We're just going to lay down onto your back. Roll to the side initially. And then once we get down, of course, if you need a pad for your head, just fold the towel, grab a sweatshirt, whatever you have available to you. We'll stretch the right leg forward and pull the left knee into your chest, embrace it in nice and tight. And then you can release it a little bit, taking your right hand on top of the knee, left arm at your side, and then circle the leg here on the socket. You draw a circle with the knee to get that rotation of the femur head on the hip joint surface. And go slowly enough, one breath per circle. Shorter inhale, longer exhale, just like we do for single leg circles later on in the practice. And then complete the circle, and now we reverse it. Laterally, forward, medially, and back towards your chest. Trying to hold the pelvis steady so you're not rocking the torso as you rotate the leg on the hip joint. Just really trying to work to oil up the socket here with the synovial fluid. And then we'll pull the knee into your chest again. Stretch the other leg long and be sure it's reaching directly in front of the hip joint. Now from here, we'll pull that knee across the body up and towards your right shoulder blade, your right shoulder, top of the shoulder, or the armpit, and try to reach out for your left sits bone to elongate the waist on that side. And then we bring the leg over a little bit to your left here and pull that knee up and in towards the armpit on the left side. Keep the right hip grounded. And now lower that knee so that the thigh is perpendicular to the torso. So it's still out to the side. You can either support from underneath or push down on the knee or on the leg just above the knee. And try to rotate the right pelvic half into the ground so you feel some work in your obliques as you're opening that left upper inner thigh and opening the hip joint area. Next, we'll pull that knee back up to center, knee to the ceiling. Bring the right hand to the left knee and pull it directly across the body, spiraling the hip off. You can extend the left arm out to the side. Look at that hand, reach long for your fingertips. Enjoy the diagonal stretch across your back and the abs. And now unwind, the hip comes down and you can pull the knee in tighter to your chest. And now release that, slide it forward, shake out your leg. Good. It's always so odd, even though we've done this a million times, you know that you can feel the left side drop and the right side is sticking up like it's on a totally different level instead of on a flat floor. So here we go. Now we pull the right knee into your body, embrace it in, and the left leg stretches forward. After you pull it tight, of course, be careful of the knee. If you have a knee issue, hands go to the back of the thigh instead, so it's more open angle here. But you're going to pull it in, release it a little forward, right hand on the knee, and now we circle. We call these knee stirs. Very descriptive. And the focus is really on moving the top of the leg, the femur head, on the joint. You can go slowly if you feel really stiff. Try to slow it down enough that it's one breath per circle. And also, there's a little bit of work here, keeping the pelvis grounded and steady. So you're not rocking from side to side, even though you're moving the leg in this circle. Now reverse. Start internally, and then circle it laterally, and then back it around. You will feel that shift of weight around your sacrum on your SI joints as you do this. That's good. Most of us could use a little release there. And then we'll pull the knee into the chest again. And then across to the left shoulder, towards the left armpit. Reach out to the right sits bone, because often we compress the waistline, right hip hiking when we pull them into the body. So try to You can either reach for the sits bone or maybe take your right hand on the right hip crest and push it down so that the two pelvic halves are still level. And now let's pull the knee across and up towards the right armpit, the right shoulder. Upper inner thigh along the outside of your rib cage here. And we can lower that knee out to the side, to the right. The foot can either rest on its edge or you can keep the leg lifted and support from underneath with your right hand or press down across the diagonal, like the belly of the calf muscle, a little bit higher up on inner thigh. And at the same time, think of extra weight in your left hip, prevent the body from spinning towards the direction of your knee. And now pull the leg up, and give it an assist with your hand. Switch hands, the left hand now is on top of the angle here between the calf and the thigh bone. And then you can stretch the right arm out. Keep the shoulder blades grounded. And you pull that knee across, giving yourself a nice diagonal stretch into the back and into your abs. One more breath here. Unwind, coming down from the left shoulder to the waist to the right glute. And then pull the leg in again one more time. And then skate that leg forward, all the way out. Shake out your legs. Just feel that release in the low back, in the hip joint, and the weight and length of your legs here in front of you. All right. So now from here, let's pull the legs in, roll up to sitting. And we are going to use the roll a little bit here for a little more hip opening. So we'll slide this underneath the right, lay on back. Reach up and slide the roll across under your sacrum. Hold the roll in position and we'll pull one leg up as you inhale, the second one up as you exhale. Press the legs together like a unileg. And you're holding the roller steady with your elbows maybe out and wide. Begin by bringing the knees across to your right. Tip your gaze to the left. Go as far as you can while keeping both shoulder blades on the ground. Exhale, come back to center, roll across the glutes, maybe across part of the sacrum, and then here, as the knees fall over to the left, you're going to look to your right. And the right shoulder blade is actively trying to stay grounded. Pull back to center here, and then to the other side. By keeping the collarbones wide and the shoulder blades down, you're going to get a stretch into your pecs. And then roll across again. Notice where you feel, some of that tissue is tight. You only come up with that exhale. Find that engagement with the breath to already engage the abdominal muscles. And now flip over to the right. Now here, we're keeping the legs together and drawing small circles with the knees. And you can change the angle of the knees in order to feel different massage, a different connection to the glute. You might want to have more weight around the SI joints, close to the sacrum, or you might want to have the weight a little bit more lateral with the knees lower. Your body will tell you what it needs. Just pay attention. And then we reverse the circles. This is helping to release the glute and then also some of the deep six rotators here underneath. Piriformis, probably the one we're most familiar with. For better or for worse, right? And then let's come on up and we go over again now here to the left. See if you can find the area that needs the most help, and then you're doing small circles here. I know sometimes they're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Then you get to the other side and it's surprise, guess what? You really could use the help here. And then we'll reverse it. So in the opposite direction. And then we come back to center. Hold the roller, maybe actually lower the feet, lift up, rotate the roller underneath you so you're on a fresh spot so we don't, depress the roller under our pelvic girdle here. And then the legs come in, they lift up for scissors. Right leg back, left leg forward, scissor split. And then inhale to switch. And exhale, switch again. Breathe through this. Your feet draw like little arcs in the air, tracing two parallel rainbows here in the sky. See how far you can go at either end to bring your feet towards the ground. If you feel like you need more hamstring stretch, focus on that, the leg coming back. If on the other hand, you feel like you need more hip opening, focus on that, bringing it forward. It will affect where you take the other leg, but you can fine tune this and you get what you want out of the exercise. Most of us need both. And then we'll bring both legs up, exhale, rotate, and pull the legs apart sideways. Starting to stretch into the upper inner thigh and exhale, close from the upper inner thigh to tap your heels together and we'll bring it open again. Exhale and close. And just do one more like this. Once we close them, keep the left leg in the air and take the right leg out to the side. Notice how the weight of the leg going over there tries to lift the left hip bone, keep pressing it down. Exhale and pull that leg up. Now the right leg is vertical and the left leg moves sideways, draws the arm downhill to the ground, and you're pressing into the right arm, the right hip bone into the roller, and then exhale and lift it. So one of the ways you can make an exercise harder is by pausing before you pull up against gravity. Right, because if you just take it down and bounce it right back up, it isn't really as much work. Hold it down there, lengthen it out, and then exhale, choose to pull it up, nice and slow. Keep the movement steady. You don't want to accelerate through the hard part. And we'll do one more with the right leg up and the leg moving out to the left. Drag the leg up, connect at the top. And now let's go back into your scissor split. One leg back, one leg forward, and circle the legs out wide and around. Draw a big circle on the ceiling with your paintbrush toes. Circle around again here. You reverse the circle every time as if you're holding a large ball here between your feet. Spiral it right above the pelvic floor. And picture that ball getting a little larger. It's going to be filled with more air with every repetition. So hopefully the legs can start to take up a bigger pathway. And we'll finish that up so you're even. And then lift both legs, bend both knees, exhale, lower the feet down. Again, lift up, rotate the roller, find a fresh spot under your sacrum. And here we're just going to stretch the right leg forward and the right arm back. Open up the front line of your body here for that reach, relax, stretch. You might want to remember this exercise, a great thing to do between your work day and your family time or your personal time. Great thing to do last thing in the day before you go to sleep. Just open up the body, particularly the hips, after sitting all day in front of a computer, or sitting and reading, or even walking or biking. We tend to really need to open this area up. And then let's slide the foot back, the arm back, and now we'll stretch open the left side. The two sides could feel really different. For your own practice, you could do right, left, right, or left, right, left, or just spend more time on the tighter side. Allow the inhale to lengthen the body and reach the fingers and through the center of the foot. And on the exhale, just feel the body sinking into the ground anywhere it's touching or even into the support of the roller. Try again to think of equal weight in the two pelvic halves, because you might tip to one side if it's a little tighter, or particularly if the IT band is tight. And then let's slide both legs forward, both arms back, but only if that works for your body. Remember, you can also bend the knees a little bit here if you feel like you need to ease the stretch across the hip. And for many people, pulling one knee into the chest while the other leg stretches is just the right amount of stretch that protects the back. All right, and the legs should be a little external rotation. That'll feel great for your body. We can bring the arms back to the roller. We can slide the feet back and bending the knees. Press through your feet, lift your hips, and slide the roller out to underneath. And all the way down here, and hug the knees into your chest, a little counter pose, a counter stretch. Rock from side to side. All right, so we're going to slide the legs forward for your roll up. Lift the arms up to the sky, reach the arms back towards your ears, holding the ribs grounded. Start to lift the arms, head, neck, and chest. Exhale, pulling yourself forward and up, bend over your legs, suck the waist back into your spine. And then we're rolling back. You can lift the arms higher if you want more load into the core. Just be sure you're not falling into the ground for any part of the movement, that you maintain control. Come all the way down and stretch the legs forward as they squeeze together. Reach the arms behind you. Let's do it again. For the movement of the shoulder blades underneath your ribs, lift your head, bend your spine, curve it, back forward. The shoulder blades dropping around towards the front of the chest and sliding down your back, so you're not hiking the shoulders up by your ears. And then as we bring it back, arms lower if you need to, bare band if you want it, ankle weights if you prefer. Hand weights also can make this exercise easier or harder, depending on the position of the arms. We'll do one more, coming up here. Pull forward, curve the spine, duck over, rounding the spine here. And then taking it on back. Push the legs forward out of the hip as you come down with your spine into the ground. Circle the arms around to your side. So for my class here, does everyone do inversions? Can you come up onto shoulder blade? Yes? Yep. Okay. So if you want, you can also, if that's challenging for you, you can also take the roller across under your glutes. We're going to do an exercise rollover. Pretty much you're just flipping what we just did. So in the rollover exercise, this is more advanced. We would start, eventually you'd start with the legs down, but that's a lot of load into your back. So we're going to begin by pulling the knees into your chest and then taking the legs up to the ceiling. The arms lengthen at your side. You're going to press the palms into the ground and then slide the legs a little bit forward, watching that you feel this work in your abs and not overly working your back into an arch. As you press the legs together, we're going to swing them up and over. Exhale to pull the hips in the air. Come up. Now keep looking up. Don't look to the side. And we're coming back down. So press forward with the heel of your hands into the ground. Allow your shoulders to roll up slightly and in slightly as you come down. And then take your legs out to your working level. Your back is safe, but you feel that increasing load into the abdominals, preventing the pelvis from tipping. So we go with the self point, we go up and over, push down into the arms, pull up with the hips. Now you're not on your neck, you're on the base of the skull and the scapula, the shoulder blades. Now for this position, open your feet about 4 inches, flex the feet, curling the toes towards the shins, and then work your way down. Now on the way down, try to roll a little bit to the inner arm, the inner hand. So your shoulders curve up, which means towards the ceiling and not towards your ears. And then you can go down without having to work through your fingertips or have your neck arch and go into sort of a fish pose. So we go forward, we're going to lift again. Exhale, push to the ground, hips up, your spine in it, like an upside down. C-curve here, and then bring it back down, push the mat away, really get the heel of your hands in. You can have a little internal rotation through the arms, so the shoulder blades move apart as you're moving through flexion. That looks really good. Now, let's do one more. I'm gonna add the leg movements again. I forgot it last time. Press, lift your hips. But the arm position is important in this exercise because if you try to like roll to the outer arm or just keep the chest wide as you went down, what would happen is your back would start to flatten. And then when you go down, I'm trying to do that now. So then your head would tip back because you would not be allowing flexion in the upper back. So it is essential that when you do these, that you allow your shoulder blades to widen as you're moving into flexion. We're taking legs forward again. Now we'll remember to do the feet. So we bring the legs up and over, push it into the ground, come up. Now open the legs, flex the feet. So this is going to give you more stretch into the back line. You'll feel it in the back of your legs. Those shoulders can roll in towards each other, slightly off the ground. Settle them back down onto the scapular plates as you come to the ground. Close the legs, bend the knees, and lower down. That's the beginning of how we teach that rollover exercise. Any questions? Any thoughts? Yes.
When you are going back, should your shoulder, all your shoulder blades stay up to the mat, or the lips like?
Right. So I think it's really confusing because when people talk about the shoulder blades, they tend to think about the upper shoulder blades. We're really talking about the part down here, like the flatter part of the plate. Because if you go too high up towards the top of the shoulder at the base of the neck, then you can put too much pressure into the cervical spine. And everyone's is going to look a little different depending on flexibility, right? But you do want to watch that you're not going up so high like that you. Like I used to, when I first started learning this, I would get up so high, I would feel like little crackling noises in my neck. And I was thinking, that can't be good. And in fact, it wasn't good. I was okay, but it's really not recommended. And like these exercises typically are not recommended for people with cervical issues until they probably stop there, right? Until they like heal that or have moved on or more advanced in their body and they can feel that they can control it. Right. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, so then does this whole movement, your shoulders not relatively?
Yeah, like you feel the weight shift a little higher up, but you don't want to go so high up that you feel like you are really balancing on the very top, at the, like C7 at the base of the neck here. You don't want to get anywhere near that, right? And sometimes if people don't have the flexibility in their spine, they compensate by going up too high because they're trying to look like the picture in like on Instagram, right? Yeah. So that was good. Yeah. If you ever have any questions, just flag me down and like I can come look at it. Yeah, that's great. Anyone else? It's a challenge, right? Because getting up and balancing there and then being able to come down. But the most common mistake I see is that people get up there and then they try to like widen their chest and then come out of flexion when they're up balanced on their shoulders and roll down, and then they put their body in chains, like because this locks you down. So now I can't really flex. All I can do is like move sort of from my hips and maybe the lumbar part of my back. And then they get stuck and they're like, oh my God. And it like bothers us when we do that because we're not letting the spine move because we're not allowing the scapula to assist the movement. Right. So we're moving on. Thank you. Right. So here, hundreds. So here you'll kind of feel that when you go into that upper up curl. Right. We're going to lift the tail, roll back. See as you go back even here, you can feel how the scapula broaden on your back. And that allows you to have more of a spinal curve. Going down, going down, going down to balance at the tip of the blades. Pull the legs in, palms down, extend the legs up and pop. Inhaling and then exhale. The great thing to think about here is that there's a line of muscle and connective tissue that runs from your jaw, down your throat, down the sternum, through the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscles, to the pubic bone, and then through the pelvic floor to the tail. And that whole line of muscle can work together to help hold you in this position. So you might think, I'm lifting my chest a little higher and forward. I might even curl my tail up and in towards my gaze, and see if you can feel that turn on that abdominal line. Breathing in, and then exhale, breathing out. We'll just go for one more breath. And then fold the legs in, lay your head down. Turn your head easy from side to side. All right, and next we're going to work into an exercise called tree. I want to play a little bit. We have a smaller group today. Let's play with some of these more advanced exercises. So tree is roll up, but with one leg down and one leg in the air. So we'll take the right leg up in the air, soft point with the foot, and the other foot ideally would be flexed, but maybe that's a lot to ask the first time you try it. So if the leg is too high, you're not going to be able to lift up. Take the leg forward at maybe somewhere about 45 degrees from the ground. The arms lengthen at your side. And then we start your upper arm curl, lift your head, neck, and chest. Bring your left hand to the back of the right thigh. Pull yourself up, hand to my hand after head, avoid the back of the knee. Come all the way up and try to perch on your sits bones. And then here, maybe lift the leg a little higher, dropping the femur head deep into the socket, and the elbows would be a little bent so you have some support for the back of your leg. And then we're coming down. So try not to drop this leg. Curl the tail up, rotating the pelvis on both femurs, even though one is along the mat and one is up in the air. And then you pull your waist down, your spine down, and the hands follow down the leg. At the end, you lay your arms alongside you on the mat. And we lift again with the opposite hand first. And as you come up, your gaze should be to the inside of the leg and not along the line of the leg in order to keep your central axis, to find the equal weight, the equal balance in both sides of your hips, of your glutes. And then we come down again, round the back. So if the spine is the mover, you're not like moving your hand and then dropping away from it. You're trying to move the spine and then let the hands follow the spine down to the ground. One more time, coming up. Right, excellent. Come all the way up. And now here at the top, you can widen the collarbones because you are in a more neutral position with your spine. And now we're going to bend the elbows, lift the leg up, feel that stretch in the back of the leg, bend the knee if you need to, and then release it, lift it again. Trying to picture the ball that's at the top of the femur, rolling deep into the socket. Lift it here. Now, if you want an extra challenge, you would hold the leg there, release the arms, or walk your hands down your legs. Like if this is the first minute you've tried this, walk your hands down the legs, but then come down again with control down here. That's a big test for the psoas muscle because you're releasing the spine down at the same time as you're holding the leg up. And now pull that knee into your chest, nice and deep. And then stretch that leg forward down the mat. Shake out the legs. And again, you're going to feel, even though you just worked really hard, there's more release in the right hip and the right leg. Let's pull the left knee in. Extend it forward and up on the diagonal. And then start lifting your gaze. Look down your nose in line with your sternum, your navel, the pubic bone, and then coming up. Come all the way up. Sit up tall here. Let the shoulders melt down behind your back towards your tail. And now we're starting with the pelvic tuck, go behind your sits bones, and then let that movement of your spine move your shoulders further back in space so that the arms work down your leg. Hold that leg up and out into the air in front of you. And here, you're going to feel both scapula, let your ribs rest into their embrace. And now we come up again, looking to the inside of the leg. Grow taller as you rise here. The heart can lift, the shoulders will drop. And again, down, pelvic tuck. Suck the waist back. Push the legs out away from center. You have a reach to the legs and a reach to the spine in opposite directions. Palms flat to the ground. Don't push the shoulders down, right? That would take you into extension in that upper back and neck. But we're lifting again now in deflection. As you can kind of feel, as the arms move forward, it pulls the scapula a little bit forward and around towards the front of the body. Sit upright here, and now we pause, and then we bend the elbows. We lift the leg up. Try to come up a little higher on your sits bones. I know, even if it means that the leg doesn't lift as high, Good, and bend the knee if you need to, if you know your hamstrings are tight, right? So try to get that stretch at the back of the leg. And then either come down walking your hands or go hands-free, more advanced, stretch out through the soles of both feet. Work your spine down into the ground, come all the way down, and pull the knee into your chest. All right, and then reach that down and long. All right, so we're just gonna play today and do some different things I think would be fun. So I'd like you to pair up, and we're going to do a seated spine stretch here with a partner. Yeah. What's that? Which one? Oh, so you want to sit back to back. Mm-hmm. So it's like your sacrums are together, your shoulders are together, and then the arms extend forward. So what you feel here is that you want to peel away from your partner if you're peeling off a wall. So extend the arms forward, lift up, look down with your gaze, tip your head down, chin to chest, and then pull away gradually. Feel that zipper unzip, the zipper being the two spines. You can bend your knees, come forward, and go all the way down, and then stack your spine, lifting to come on up. I don't have a partner, there's an even number of people here. I don't know if I can do this without knocking this over, but let's see. That would be amazing. I suspect it's not gonna work, but willing to try. Whoops. Because you can also do this against a wall. So look down again, pull away. So that actually works pretty well in the camera because you can see, you can imagine that if that roller was alive, it could be moving forward and moving away from it in a mirror image. And then coming up, the advantage of doing this with a partner or with a wall as opposed to doing it on your own is you really can feel that articulation of the body coming all the way up. I did one, and let's do it again. People are more forgiving, maybe surprisingly so, right? And then take it down and over. Forward here. Suck the belly back. Come forward, feel that stretch. And then try to come up. Right, and it's amazing, even if you don't really know the person you've been working with, it's amazing that you can feel that connection and work in unison, right? Let's do it once more. Pull away gradually. The waist pulls back. Pressure the legs and come up 1 inch at a time. Nice, good. What was that?
I feel so supported.
I know, right? Yeah. And like I said, if you don't have a partner to do this with at the moment, just take your back against a wall because it will teach you about feeling that connection through your back line into something or someone. All right, so let's use the ball today for the ab series. I should have gotten one, but I'll get one now. So we're going to begin holding the ball here, right, with the elbows wide, and you're squeezing the ball in between your palms. And then we'll roll back into our upper curl. Keep the ball the same distance from your chest. Come to your upper curl, pull the legs into tabletop, look down under the ball towards your navel. And we stretch the right leg forward. And then we switch the legs. One goes back, one goes forward. Push it again. They use that connection of really pressing into the ball to feel the upper inner arms engage. And with that connection, help you feel that connection into your upper obliques. This is more difficult because you don't get to bring your hands to your shins to pull you up and maintain that upper curl. You have to try to find it from your abs. We're gonna end with the left leg in and pull the right one in to meet it. Rest your head down. Let's take the ball underneath your neck. This is delightful. Try it at home, even if you don't want to do the abdominal series. So just turn your head from side to side. You can knock the knees together, have the feet wider. A little reward for your neck. All right, the ball comes out. We're going to roll up again. And now roll back for the double leg stretch. In this one, you're holding the ball and the ball will be resting on your shins once we get down into position. So beginning with the pelvic curl, tip the tail up, roll the spine down, come back. You could also pull the knees in as you're going down, sort of like a prep for teaser. Pull the knees in, rest the ball on your shin, look at your abs. Now inhale, lift the arms, lift the legs, and exhale, just fold the knees in, tap the ball to the shins, and reach. And pull it back together. We're going to open the shape and close it. I know it's tempting, try to look down your midline and not up at your feet. Prevent yourself from falling back closer to the ground. And now you lay down. You choose to, and then you can lower the feet again. Here, turn the head side to side, rock your knees in the other direction. The next one will be scissors. We're rolling up again, extend the legs forward, hold the ball. Now, when you come up this time using the ball, you lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Now squeeze the ball before you pick up the rib cage. See how that helps you engage into the abdominal muscles to bring you up, and then dive forward. You can even like roll the ball down your legs, over the ankles, over the top of the feet, if that works for you, to really get that stretch. And then let's roll upwards. Good. We're going to take it back now for scissors. So come all the way down, curl the body into the ground, land on the tip of the blades or the base of the rib cage. Let's pull one leg up, the other one's down, and you tap the lifted leg into the ball twice, switch, tap 1, 2, switch again. And again, I'll just remind you, you don't want to look up at your foot when it lifts. Try to actually look below the knee. The body knows where the ball is. You don't have to look at it to let the body make connection to the shin. And then after tapping twice with the left, again, take the ball behind your neck, rest your head down, and again, turn your head easy from side to side. It is sort of nice. These balls have deflated a bit so that it's not pushing the head too far forward, but just enough to feel like you get support through the neck and a deep tissue massage. You can also buy, inflatable balls for exercise like this, about this size, and then fill them like 2/3 full. That works great too. So now we're going into the double leg lower lift. So just from here, let's pull the knees in, take the ball in between the two arches, support the head with your hands, your thumbs along the base of the skull. So pull yourself up to your upper curl. In fact, you can actually bring your hands to your thighs to come up a little higher. And then bring the hands back, extend the legs up in the air, squeeze the ball from your inner thighs. And we slide the legs out through space. Feel the work into the low abdominals, and then exhale and lift them up. Notice that we're not bouncing the legs back and forth, but you're trying to slide your toes across the ceiling. Stop when you feel that it's getting to be more difficult enough that your back would arch, and you would feel the load somewhere you don't want to feel it. Always want to be respectful of these exercises because the legs are heavy and connected directly to your vertebra and your intervertebral disc through your psoas muscles. One more. Exhale, lift, squeezing the ball, feel that work in your inner thighs. And now we'll pull the ball in to our hands. Excellent. So from here, we go into the elbow to knee variation, where you'll take the ball between your hands again, Take the ball down by your right hip and low, close to the body. Put your upper curl and extend the left leg wall. Then we switch the legs and you rotate. Bring the ball down on the other side, switch again. Try to keep the legs moving straight out of the socket as you switch. That part of the exercise is like the single leg stretch we started with. But now we've added not only the upper curl, but also that rotation here, going from one tip of the scapula to the other. Just watching that you're not side bending through the body. That's why keeping the ball really close to your hips is helpful here. We're going to end to the left and then rest it down. Great series. I know we always feel like we really got our money's worth on that, right? All right, so from here, let's work into jackknife. So not jackknife, sorry. I said that, I meant shoulder bridge. So let's pull the legs together around the ball. The ball's halfway down the thighs, or up the thighs. And spread your feet into the ground. We begin with a pelvic tuck. Curl the tail forward and up. Push the knees forward, out over the toes in your mind. They won't literally get there. But you definitely want to feel that as you're pushing down with the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, you're going to actually push the shoulders down all the way, roll to the outer arm just a little bit, and then lift your sternum up, because this is putting your upper back, your thoracic spine into extension. So you feel the blades knit together behind you, and then once you have that lift with the heart, the eyes are still up and back, and then push to the ground and use your glutes to push your hips up higher. We're opening the hips, taking advantage of the stretching we did earlier. Now to come out of it, try to roll slightly to the inner arm, elbows move slightly externally. You can feel the blades also move apart, and that allows you to curve the rib cage down between the blades, coming down slowly, slowly from the top of the spine all the way down to the tailbone. And that's exactly what I was talking about, what you need when you're doing the roll over or jackknife is the same scenario. So here we go again. So again, with the pelvic tuck, move the tail up and forward and the knees forward and out. As you start to lift onto the shoulder blades, we're going to press the top of the shoulders down, roll slightly to the outer upper arm. Your thumbs might get a little light on the mat here. And see, can you feel the scapula join together and then push down with the upper arms, push down with your feet. Lift the heart up, eyes up and slightly back, keep your throat long. And now push up through your glutes. Give yourself a little bit more strength through the glutes and the hamstrings. Hug the ball so you're still maintaining the work through your inner thighs. Now, as we come down, you're going to widen your blades by lifting the shoulder blades up and curving the upper back into the ground. Maybe push the mat away with the heel of your hands. And then come all the way down here. As you get down to the sacrum, you're going to release the tail down, and then that will rock you across the pelvis to lift the waist slightly off the ground. So that mobility through your spine is what we need in those inversions too. And it does have a lot to do with how you manipulate and think about working your shoulder girdle. So let's go one more time, and we'll stay up there and do some squeezes with the leg around the ball. So pelvic tuck. At this point, I'm sort of pulling back with the heel of my hands as I push the knees forward and up. Come all the way up. Then we want to push down through the top of the shoulders, the outer edge of the upper arm. Rolling a little bit more onto the pinky edge of the hand. The thumb edge of the hand gets a little light here, maybe cupping the palm slightly. Lift the heart. Start pushing into the legs, lift the hips. Remember, squeeze that ball. Now here we're going to squeeze it tight and then release a little bit. Squeeze it tight again and release without dropping the pelvis. So push to the shoulders, push through your feet, press to the upper arm, the outer upper arm into the ground, and you're pulsing the legs, pushing in and opening slowly. Imagine that the ball itself is trying to push the legs apart when you're trying to push the legs in around the ball. And then we're going to release down. So the shoulders come forward and up towards the sky and in towards each other. That's the top of the shoulders, the blades separate, and then roll your spine all the way down here. Articulate down, take your time. Go down, roll across the sacrum, feel the weight of the tailbone, and now the lift of your waist. That was really lovely. We'll put the ball to the side. And now rock forward and up, come up to sitting. Now here for spine twist, I want to really be sure that you're feeling this through your obliques. So we can sit and then hold the ball in your hands, take it on top of your head. So when you're vertical like this, you want to push the ball up into your hands. So try to get that elongation through your spine as you lift your head up into the ball. Now, however, as we rotate here, let's twist. You're going to twist to the right, I'll twist to the left. And go here and feel that work for the oblique abdominals. You're not really letting the elbows pull you around. You know that often when you do this with the arms extended, that the arm swings the body around. Here we're working from our core. Let's go to the other side. Twist and pulse. 1, 2, 3. Lift to center. Now, as you rotate, you want to think about the muscles softening a little bit. The ligaments release on one side as they tighten on the other. You have to have a little bit of slack there. So that's why you think of melting slightly down as you twist and then growing taller as you center. So you melt just a little bit like you've been out. Fortunately, there's not much sunshine today. Lift here through center and then spiral and twist again. Your gaze can also go in a sweeping arc down and around behind you, and that will help you think about softening the back. Now we're not collapsing as we go from one side to the other, but you do want to feel that little bit of slight softening, a slight shortening as you rotate. And then one more here, other side. Bend your knees if you feel like you are like rounding your back, because this feels terrible. I should have said this before, but I know I've said it before in this series, that if you are sitting slumped like this and try to rotate, your movement is very restricted. Try it. So even if you can't sit upright, try to sit behind your sits bones, round your back and rotate. Ow. And then come up, bend your knees as much as you need to sit right on top of your sits bones, and then twist again. See how much more mobility you have? Bigger range of motion. Another good reason to think about working on continually lengthening the hamstrings. All right, so we're just about done. I would like to end with the standing swan, so let's come up. All right, so starting here, hands above the pubic bone, below the navel, push into the abdominal wall, elbows are a little wide, feet, stance a little wider than normal, maybe about 6-8 inches apart. And then push into the abs, start to pull the flesh up. When you get to the base of the rib cage, the thumbs are out, the palms are up. Lift ribs one by one, pick up the chest wall. You want to feel that stretch in the abdominal wall here. You really like you're lifting and stretching the abs as well as the skin. Slide your hands up your sternum to the place where the collarbones attach at the top of the sternum. Slide your hands across the collarbones to your shoulders. Pull the elbows back down and in together behind you for the squeeze of the blades. And you can look up and pick up your chest, pick up your heart, pick up your eyes, as long as you don't feel compressed in the back of your neck. You also can take your hands here at the base of your skull and then let your head fall into the hands. Elbows could lift a little bit here. See what gives you the best stretch into extension. And then exhale, gaze will lower, zip yourself up from the bottom to the top. Come back where we started. And remember, it's important when you do this that you not go into extension by pushing your legs and your hips forward, your belly forward, because then you're crunching into the lower back. So we try to think that we're going up, narrowing the body and finding extra length in the front. Come all the way up, remember, hit the ribs with the pinky edge of your hand, pull the ribs up one by one, and then think of water falling over the bra line here, hands up the sternum, across the collarbones, pull the elbows back down and in. You can pull a little bit higher with the chest, you can support the head, let that go back with a little assist, you can get more extension in the neck if your body is willing to do that. And then exhale, ease out of it. The gaze goes across the ceiling and then down the wall to the horizon. Just take a deep breath here. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Exhale. We're good for today. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you so much.